Okay.
Gotta get on the grind, giving it up to the 9-9. If you still picking shots, it fall in the nighttime. Gotta get mine. Ain't taking no shots on the lounge and top of the phone. Pull up my phone, me tape at home, polishing this Mac 10 Chrome. Gotta lick weekend, it took quarter flip this month again in the town. To the top with a flip of bird. My way to the curb, so I swerve and roll loud. To pick up the rest of my goods, and straight on the mission for calling up more now. Joe, when I hit the ball, gonna ride like every day. With 4 more goods, I'm a bro with it, stroke until we end up in the grave. And lane, put it in the drop lane. We spotted the place and quickly rolled up. Gotta make that money, man. Hopped out of the project, that's the show. The fuck in the boom, so drop it on down when I'm into the room. Them dumb, and I'm shaking the dice and hit 'em in naturals on them fools, and I'm looking lovely. They better not think it's funny. I'm coming up quicker than that watch, cause flesh be loving this money. I'm giving up love to the hustlers, all them tracks that busted, making that money, stand on your feet. And you better believe, gotta have that cheese for the green leaves, never catch me sleep. Steady on the grind, get my get down from a crime, and I hit it for 99. Gotta keep that back row, making me say it, boy, these niggas are dying. Hit it for lick up that 211. Gotta get what's mine and failing. They kicking up dust, I'm a trailing, failing 187. That's how it is, that I got to have it in the night. What? Missing the check a meal, to still be real, thugging on the clock, like creeping on the thumb up. Won't slip till I'm done up, gotta place the gun up. Hunt up another plot and scheme, gotta make some break the soul, nut up, what up? Gotta get that business on, even though the Buddha run this done, been feeling nothing. But I'm just in it for another month.
All right, everybody. Sorry about that. Apparently, we having some issues with the music. Can everybody hear me? What's up, Auntie? Can you hear me? Yeah, we still having sound issues. We're going to keep working towards getting that fixed. We'll eventually get it worked out at some point. Anyway, welcome to this night's Gangster Talk. I'm Max Black. That's Dane Frankie on the screen. How you doing, Auntie? I am going to talk a little bit about the 1 o'clock challenge. We're going into day 11 now. People are still going strong. Auntie, how are you doing? How's your progress? I haven't seen you in the server, so you must be progressing pretty well. Shout out to everybody doing the 1 o'clock challenge. We appreciate your participation. And shout out to those who are going strong. We're going into day 11. You're still holding on and feeling good about yourself at this point. Yeah, I told you you didn't need the exercise. This will burn it off all without the exercise. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you was really doing it. You was really doing it. All right, anyway, let's get on into it because I don't have much time tonight. I got to go to work in the morning, so um, we still having some technical issues, but we're getting cleaned up. Anyway, I want to talk about something that's been bothering me for quite some time, and black people, we keep falling for the same things, and we have to stop doing that. Part of the new black power is recognizing our enemies and understanding that they are enemies. Okay, I don't care what color they are. Enemies don't have a color, as far as I'm concerned. They don't have a nationality. They don't have any particular look or whatever. Enemies are enemies. Definitely. You see what I'm saying? You lost too much even after you stopped exercising, right? Yeah, this is a high octane fat burner situation. Trust me, it's gonna come flying off. All right. Anyway, shout out to Team Gangster. The title tonight is Enemies in Plain Sight, right? We have to stop embracing the enemies simply because they're black. We keep embracing enemies. When we have black men who have the audacity to flaunt Becky in our face, knowing all of the atrocities that Becky has done to our children, men, women, and children, going all the way back to the slavery days, and having the audacity to flaunt her in our face, walk around here with their chest sticking out because they have a Becky on their arm, or they have a Becky beside them. And it makes me sick to my stomach because out here driving the truck, I go from state to state, and I see a lot of it in the truck stops. Brothers getting out of their trucks with these beat down Beckys, walking extra slow, like they're cool, chest way out in front of them, shades and whatnot, smoking cigarettes and all that. Just really trying to look cool. And I've always maintained the position that when I came on YouTube, and I will not waver from this. If you are against the black woman, then you are against black people. And that includes dating outside of your race. See, we're in a situation now to where we need everybody. We need black people to come together more than ever. Shout out to Dame Frankie and the lovely Vonda Harris coming to hang out. Hey, Vonda, Miss Apple. Hey, Yo, Keish. See, we're in a time right now where we need black people to stick together more than ever. We have to rely on each other more than ever. We don't have any friends out there. We have to look to each other. Everyone else is doing them. Everyone else is staying within their own group. And even the ones that pretend to be helping us are only doing it for their own gain. They have their own personal agenda. Homosexuals are out here hijacking everything from the civil rights movement, Black Lives Matter, everything. And Black Lives Matter, while you bullshit, is getting powerful out here. They're becoming very powerful. Okay? And because you got all these homos pushing, they got all these homos back and all these pedophiles. Black Lives Matter is a front for a lot of homosexuality and pedophilia. Okay? And so as black people, we have to be right now trusting to only each other. We can't trust any outside races. We can't. And to see these brothers walking around with these Beckys, I mean, the audacity to flaunt these murderous bitches in our faces. To me, this is an enemy to black people. And I'm gonna say this one more time, and everybody can tell you this. Dane Frankie's in here, Fonda's in here. They'll tell you. Max has a strong belief. If you are against the black woman, then you are against black people, period. You hate the black woman, you hate black people, period. And people always say, well, you know what, Max, what about the black man? I shouldn't be having to, why do I talk about black men? Black men are supposed to hold their own nuts. You don't see me crying. You don't see me get on here crying about nobody's talking about me. Nobody loves me. Have any baby shit. We're supposed to be strong. Our women is what we are supposed to be focused on, our children, and building our society. You can't build a society without our women. A black woman is a target. She's the real target. She's the real target. If you get rid of her, you destroy the entire race. Because even though a black man could go have a baby with another woman, he can't have another black child. He can only have a black child with a black woman. So you can go around here having, sex with Becky's. You can have sex with your Maylings, your Marias, your Taco Bravos, whoever you want to have sex with. If she's not a black woman, you're not having a black child. You're not. So if you get rid of the black woman, you effectively destroy the black race. Okay? See, a black woman needs to have a black child with a black man. And that's what we need to be about. You see, we got to stop all this coon shit. And we got to stop following these coons. These are enemies to black people. Anytime a man gets up here and says anything crazy against black women, he's an enemy to black people. And vice versa. If you have a black woman that's talking crazy about black men, I'm talking about crazy, but now I'm not talking about a woman who sees these derelicts and she's speaking on these, that's different. She's speaking on these bums who aren't doing what they're supposed to do, that's different. That I ain't got a problem with. Because like Cynthia G, shout out to Cynthia G, only a hit dog hollers. See, I don't have a problem with nothing Cynthia G says or any of these other women who be jumping on these derelict, dusty ass niggas. I ain't got no problem with that because that's not me. That doesn't pertain to me. I actually agree with all that stuff. I jump on them too. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the woman who's just absolutely done lost her mind, talking about kill black babies, male black babies. That's the type of woman I'm talking about. You hear a black woman, a crazy black woman talking like that, then she's an enemy to black people as well. You hear any black person talking about killing our children, whether they be man or woman, is an enemy of black people. But let's not get it twisted. Dusty niggas, beat niggas, deadbeat dads, you don't get a pass. You're gonna get talked about. And you deserve to be talked about. And all you fake ass homo thugs with this pimp culture, you are going to be talked about too. See, we're trying to get rid of pimp culture. That's my personal goal, is to eradicate pimp culture out of black society, because it's destroying the minds of our young boys. We're raising young womanizers, woman haters, woman beaters, young men who have absolutely no respect for their mothers, no respect for their sisters, no respect for black women, period. See, we can't have that. See, because that weakens our race. When we have men like that, that weakens our race. We can have a race of men who hate women, because then what's going, especially black women, because what's going to happen is they're going to start to make babies with other women. That weakens our race even further. You got fools on here talking about we shouldn't procreate for 5 to 8 years. That's enemy talk. So you hear people talking like that, they are our enemies. People who say we shouldn't procreate for 5 to 8 years don't want to further our race, don't want to see our race grow. That's an enemy. When you got your ABLs, you know, pointing out nothing but negative things that black people do to other people, but turn a blind eye to all these races. That's an enemy to black people. These feminists. Now, not all feminists are bad. I can get along with some feminists, certain types of feminists, because not all feminists are crazy. I used to think that until I met a few of them that really changed my mind about why they are the way they are. I don't think they're feminists, but they identify with feminism. Okay? So, I found out that not all feminist black women are nutcases. Some of them actually have a very level head. They have a legitimate gripe about how they feel. They don't have these far left, far gone thoughts about black men. They're not out here talking about kill male black babies like some feminists are. You know, they're not out here swirling out of their mind. You know, they're not out here trying to make everything white like a lot of these coons out here. You know, to see a black man wearing, a Make America Great Again hat, I have all kinds of, there's so many problems with that. I mean, just so many to talk about. When I see that, right, then I take a look at us as a whole, black men as a whole, right? Why should anybody respect us when we have our own people siding with the enemy and protecting the enemy? That black people out here protecting the KKK, and they're online and they have support from black people. Why are we supporting the ABL? Why are we supporting these people? Okay, look, somebody has to come out and say it. We need to stop supporting these people. If they're having people like David Duke on their shows, if they're wearing a Make America Great Again hat, up there talking crazy as hell about, getting toys and stuff from the KKK, and the KKK is not that bad, we need to cut them off. They should get no support from the black community whatsoever. Not a view, not a nickel or a dime or a penny. Nothing. They don't have our best interests at heart. They have our destruction on their mind. And they are here to help their masters bring us to heel. And if they can't bring us to heel, they will take up arms against us for their master and try to strike us down. That is what you're looking at when you see black men wear the Make America Great Again hat. Because if a push comes to shove and they master need them to get out there and go to war with us, they will take arms against us and try to strike us down. They would try to strike down our children. They would try to strike you down and me down. But you see, that's when we become team gangster, right? And we start firing back. We start blowing off some of those Make America Great Again hats. Right? That's when we transform into team gangster, right? And so my thing is, when you have men who take pleasure, black men who take pleasure and pride in making one stream after another that does nothing but damage the image of black women, do you think that that is a person that is pro-black? He's not pro-black. He's not for the betterment of us as a whole. He is for our destruction. And what's even worse is that he's doing it for money. I found out before I became a content creator, right? And man, let me tell you, it was a journey. I mean, I got called all kinds of names. People still think I don't have anything to say, whatever, right? They call me all kinds of names. I got people who sabotage me, whatever, right? But here's my problem, though. I thought a lot of people on here were really, really, really cool until I became a content creator myself and I started seeing people's true colors. There's some people on here, man, that are just absolutely bad news. And they shouldn't have our support. We have got to stop embracing and supporting our enemies. Not all our enemies are white. Not all of them have white skin. Shout out to Alfonso McGriff, make it play in the building. Not all of our enemies have white skin. Okay? We have to begin to turn our energy on each other. Like I said, part of the new Black Power is building up a mentality that it becomes natural to act in the best interest of each other. It becomes a natural thought. It becomes a natural way of life that we are always, as Black people, acting in the best interest of each other, caring about each other. We have to get to that point. If not, we're going to be picked apart and wiped out from the inside and out because the coons are on the inside. They have an inside track to who we are and how we think. And they're going right back and they're giving us information to you know who. And they are devising plans accordingly. I had a deep conversation with some brothers about this whole mask thing. And they really pointed something out to me, right? Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything like that. But one of the words that came up was the word purge. And it came up over and over again in the conversation. Purge and the word mask. Whenever they was talking about these masks, they seemed to put the word purge in the same sentence. Really got me thinking. It is hard to identify someone that's wearing a mask, isn't it? Maybe we'll hold that conversation for another live. Maybe we'll talk about it on Ladies' Night tomorrow night. But tonight we want to talk about these enemies. And these are enemies in plain sight, people. They're not hiding. ABL isn't hiding. ABL's got a big old platform. It's got 2,000 people in this chat. It's not hiding. He's an enemy in plain sight. Jesse Lee Peterson is in plain sight. Larry Elder's in plain sight. Candace Owens is in plain sight. Nick Cannon is in plain sight. I can go on and on and on and on. Matter of fact, the whole goddamn entertainment industry is hiding in plain sight. With the exception of Erykah Badu and Erykah Badu is gangster. She whooped the Becky's ass on the set of a movie. Of course, she didn't get the part no more. They threw her off the set. But she absolutely wore a Becky out on the set of a movie that she was about to do. The Becky stepped to her, said some crazy shit, and Erykah wore that ass out. She's been kind of semi-blackballed ever since. Okay, so shout out to Erykah Badu. She's straight up gangster. Yeah, guarantee she did. She wore her ass out. Okay, so shout out to Erykah Badu. She's no coon, and she doesn't get work because she's not a coon. Kind of, I'm gonna tell you one person that really shocked me though. I'm not shocked at anybody else, and going to the industry, becoming an absolute coon. I ain't shocked. But one guy really shocked me, man, was Common. I still can't believe he turned into a coon. I still can't believe it. Common was one of the most conscious rappers out there. He was the last person that I would ever think would turn into a coon. And I don't know if he's a coon. He a broad-sided coon. He way out there. That nigga walked by talking about, I'm a coon. Emphasis on the "n" at the end. Coon. That nigga is a stark raving coon. It's like night and day, and then he's still trying to rap consciously. It's like trying to put an elevator in the outhouse. Yeah, you can find that story, Dave. You can look that up while I'm talking to Erykah Badu gets into a fight on set. It'll come up. She wore that Becky out. Of course, she got kicked off the set, but she didn't give a fuck. Yeah, I mean, Common, man, that brother there, that shocked me. I'm not shocked that Nick Cannon and all these weak ass fake wannabe blacks like Terry Crews, Chris Tucker, Chris Rock, and all these dudes are fake. Okay, nothing but opportunity. They all fake. The hell I give a damn about Nick Cannon getting a spanking by his white masters. That ain't got nothing to do with us. That's white on white crime. A white master spanking one of his honorary white slaves. I don't have nothing to do with that. I don't care nothing about Nick Cannon. And the fact that some people actually fell for his pro-black act, shame on him. I can't believe you fell for that. I mean, Nick Cannon's so bad. Nick Cannon looked like a coon in all his movies. I mean, you could tell he's a coon in the movies. I mean, I don't know why people get. How did people get? I don't know how people got that confused. Okay, and then you got this Will and Jada thing going on. For what? Who cares? We have issues that we need to deal with as black people. We need to learn how to live together again as black people. We need to learn how to work together. We need to learn how to care about each other. We need to learn how to stop fighting each other. Okay? We need to learn how to build again. Brothers got to start picking the tool belts back up. We got to go back to the old school. Go get them. If you don't own a tool belt, go buy one. Tool belts are very ingrained in black culture. Okay? It's time to start building, man. It's time to start working together again as black men. And start getting our communities together. We got to get to our young boys, start raising young, upstanding gentlemen. Stop allowing these fake pimps online with these phony services like dating coaches. How are you going to listen to a so-called black man talk so badly about black women for long periods of time, a couple of years, to my understanding, here on YouTube? Now all of a sudden believe that he has a change of heart and now he's a dating coach? Come on, stop falling for this nonsense. These guys on here with this hatred, they real about that shit. Leopards don't change their spots. I've never seen a tiger try to turn the stripes for a discount on spots. These men are who they are. And I see that many of them are back up to their old ways. They're trying to lure black women back in. They lower you to sleep so they can start cussing you out again. Calling themselves holding black women accountable. How you gonna hold somebody accountable and you're not accountable? First of all, you don't even have any works to speak of. How the hell are you holding somebody else accountable? Guys aren't building shit. You guys are online talking shit about black women and crying and complaining all the damn time. You don't have any works to speak of. So what the hell are you holding somebody accountable for? How do you hold somebody accountable when you don't have anything? You don't have any works. You don't have anything established. Sure, a lot of you say you've done things, say that you've gotten this done and gotten that done. We haven't seen it. I mean, you haven't proved it. So, especially what kills me is the ones who say that they have boots on the ground. Like that's supposed to mean something. So you got some derelict, right, who sit up there and talk about black women all day and don't have a job and get drunk on camera. All of a sudden, when something goes down, talking about, well, I got boots on the ground. So, what is that supposed to mean? Boots on the ground to do what? A lot of these cats tried to use the riots, right, about George Floyd to try to make us think that they were actually out there doing something worthy of a black man, right? Now you sit up on these streams and behave like a worthless Negro day in and day out. George Floyd gets murdered, all hell breaks loose. You get out there with a mask on talking about you got boots on the ground and we supposed to believe you. We supposed to believe that all of a sudden you that nigga. You supposed to be that nigga. You supposed to be that nigga. When you ain't showing us shit, you ain't showing us you done nothing, you ain't showing us nothing. You just telling us that you got boots on the ground. And you that nigga now. Man, a lot of these guys are clowns. Now, let me talk about my favorite group. The so-called Saving Yourself Black Men. Y'all know that's my favorite group, right? You know, they got their tenants and all that. They got some old fool that they call the mad bus driver. I think it's time, brothers, that we start building our own groups to counter these groups. Seriously, since they want to get these groups together and they want to be anti-black woman, then we need to get some groups together and we should adopt the mentality of being anti-derelict nigga, right? Anti-derelict, anti-deadbeat dad, anti-pimp, anti-bum, anti-save yourself black man, anti-manosphere, right? We need to start getting some groups together. And while we online, those groups, our main focus should be making videos about these bum niggas every goddamn day. Since that's what they want to do with the black woman all the time, we should counter. We have to start building up some groups. Team Gangsters ready. We ready to grow. And so, getting back to what my original thing was, we got enemies in plain sight. And like I said, the audacity of some of these so-called black dudes walking around flaunting these Beckys in our face, with all of the atrocities in her past. She's got more skeletons in her closet than a goddamn cemetery. And when I see a Negro male or a Negro woman with a Brad or a Becky, you, as far as I'm concerned, you don't care about your race. You don't care nothing about us. You don't care about what happened in slavery, what happened with our ancestors. You don't give a damn. And so we should feel the same thing about you. Some people say that we're going back in time, right? That history is repeating itself. Well, a long time ago, people used to live for an eye for an eye, right? A tooth for a tooth. Since we're going back in, since history is repeating itself and all. But that's the way I feel, man. As a pro-black man who loves his people, who's for the betterment and the upliftment and the economic growth of his people, and the better overall health for his people, and the better overall relations between us. I'm deeply offended when I see black people with these Beckys and these Brads, especially the niggas, because you're supposed to be leading this society. You're supposed to be leading. You're supposed to be setting a trend. You're supposed to be making a way for the rest of us to follow. You're supposed to be building and constructing, building infrastructure and things like that, and setting the precedent for other people to follow. But you're around here swirling. You know, you're irresponsible and you're swirling and shit. And you think that you can just swirl from one community to the next and nothing is going to happen to you. You think that you can just continue to side with the beast and bang on a black woman like nothing is going to happen to you, like we're just going to continue to accept that. Oh, well, you're right. Well, I'm just telling you straight, you got fucked up. It's not going to continue to happen, and that beast going to turn around and put his foot in your ass. I guess COVID-19 done wiped all of the talk out about, flying to different countries to collect prostitutes. You know, one of the funny things I heard was one of these dudes saying that he would rather fly 2,000 miles to another country and pay for a prostitute than to be with a black woman. Then he had another to say, well, what does that say about black women? Wow. Wow. That's something, right? Hold on one second. So, $2,000 miles to pay for prostitution. Well, at least they was honest about the prostitution. I'll give them credit for that, right? But anyway, getting back to what I was saying about embracing these enemies, we have to start adopting the mentality that if they are against us, we need to be against them. All that violence isn't the answer, man. Miss me with all that. What world are you living in? Do you not see all this violence around here? Violence is everywhere. All that turning the other cheek. There's no turning the other cheek. If you turn the other cheek, you're gonna get that cheek broken along with the first one. So, Team Gangster, what are we about? Well, we're about combating. Well, wait a minute. Some people think that we shouldn't fight back, right? We have people in our community right now who so-called reach a higher state of consciousness, right? And they think that we should reach a higher state of consciousness. Sounds good and all, but you can't reach that if you don't have a safe place to live. If you're looking over your shoulder every day, if you're constantly in danger, if you have to worry about the police pulling you over and you're going to get blown away or whatever, you can't come to a higher state of consciousness because you're always in the state of worry. So if you're worrying all the time, then it's impossible for you to come to a higher state of consciousness. Now, I don't have a problem against some of these brothers. Some of these brothers have a good idea about the consciousness. Now, I don't hardly agree with anybody in the conscious community at all. I think the conscious community is a bunch of BS, okay? But some of the people I've talked to, they got some really good thoughts about consciousness, you know, and they're good thoughts, but that's for another day. We need to go to a higher state of readiness right now. We need to go to a higher state of courage right now. We got too many cowards. Call themselves black men. Far too many cowards. Black men acting like girls, dressing like girls. Glorifying pimp culture. And I'm telling you, man, that pimp culture has got to go. It's doing serious damage to the young minds of our boys. It has to go. And how do we fight pimp culture? Well, over here at the Ebony Star Network, we decided to fight it with gent culture. We will be pushing gent culture. The culture of being gentlemen. We want to teach our boys how to be upstanding gentlemen, rather than allow them to deteriorate into becoming womanizers, as taught in the pimp culture. The pimp culture teaches young men to completely disrespect women, to completely disregard the lives of women. That women are something to be beaten, or almost as if they're not even human. If these sorry niggas didn't take the word dog, right, and adapt it in a cool way to themselves, they would be calling women dogs rather than hoes. I mean, some of these dudes hate women so much that they don't believe that they should be in control of their own lives. Some of them don't believe that a lot of women, no, some of them actually believe that there's too many women here in this country, and that something should be done about the numbers of women here in this country. Like the excess women should be pimped out and worked on the street like dogs until they're worn out. This is what some of them believe. And if you read some of these books that they have in these stores, right, about being a pimp, about, like, how is it that a book like, how is it that a book written by a notorious pimp is a bestseller? And it's a bestseller probably because a lot of black men bought it. What are black men doing running out to Barnes and Nobles, or running out to the most famous bookstore and taking their money out and purchasing a piece of shit that's written by Iceberg Slim? or any other black man who glorifies pimp culture. Why are black men running out and wasting money to buy these books? If you want to say, well, women do it too, well, I don't know women who buy pimp books. Now, black women may buy these books about how to tell if your man is lying or some shit like that. But that's nowhere near the pimp culture. You got niggas who can't hold a job, right, and won't pay child support, but will run out and buy a book written by Iceberg Slim, or go right, or go and buy Mac lessons from Tariq Nasheed. And this is no disrespect to Tariq Nasheed. He said the book was written in satire anyway. But the fact that you got young dudes running out to purchase these books, their priorities are all wrong. And this is what we have to fight against. This is what we have to start correcting. This is what the new Black Power is all about, correcting these kinds of issues within our young people. Because they're wired wrong and their thoughts are crossed up. You don't take your little $60 or your little $100 and go spend it on an Iceberg Slim book. I heard a young dude who bought one of these books from a pimp. I don't know if it was Bishop Don Juan, because I think all of them got books now. And I think he was 14, because I mentor a lot of young boys. He was like, yeah, I'm learning how to, yeah, I got the scoop. I'm learning how to deal with these hoes. This is a 14-year-old boy talking about he learning how to deal with hoes. And from what now, I don't even know if they have an age restriction on some of these books. We should fight. If they're going to have this filth out public, we should at least fight for an age restriction if there's not already one. I'm not aware of one. But we need to make sure that there is one if there isn't one. It should be an age restriction. A 14 or 13-year-old boy has no business with a book written by Bishop Don Juan or Iceberg Slim or any other of these homo thug pimps. Wow. Auntie said she was in the Black History section, and there was a book in there written by a black man about how to have a relationship with another man. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so Ori says that they do have it. Okay, we have to make sure, we have to put pressure on these bookstores to make sure they're enforcing these age restrictions. Like I said, there should be no reason why a 13 or 14-year-old boy should be walking around with a book written by a piece of shit like Iceberg Slim, or another piece of shit like Bishop Don Juan, or Fillmore Slim, any other of these fucking foul ass fucking pimps. Well, nothing but coons. Again, when you are out here doing something destructive towards black people, as far as I'm concerned, you're an enemy to black people. And that's the way we have to start looking. We gotta stop being afraid to call it what it is. Okay, we're in a fight for our very lives. We're in a fight for our very existence. We are a very unique people that seem to be naturally gifted at just about everything. And we are hated by the rest of the world. Not everybody though, but pretty much the rest of the world. Not everybody in the world, but we're hated. So it's not a fair fight. We're outnumbered. We're outgunned. So we have to make sure that we become a unit of people that have one mentality, people that is on one code to ensure our survival. We have to start jettisoning these coons and these enemies. You start hearing some dude talk crazy about let's not procreate for 8 years. Get them out of there. Get them out of there. Somebody talking about some all lives matter. Get them out of there. As a matter of fact, Black Lives Matter. Get them out of there too. They're not in our best interest either. Get all of them out of there. Get them out of there. You hear a nigga talking about something, well, you know, Becky's ain't all back. Get them out of there. See, don't play games at all. As soon as you hear the slightest words that tell you that this is an enemy, recognize that enemy and get that enemy out of your face. Like I said, to see a black man wearing a Make America Great Again hat and defend the KKK, you got some fool up there talking about Happy White History Month. Now, the problem is this, right? You can't really stop the things that these coons are doing. My problem is the people that's following them. How many of our young people that are following these coons? See, that's where the damage is being done. That's where the damage is being done. And that's where we have to intercede. We have to get to the young people and fight that fight, because that's where the fight is being fought. And that's where we're losing. We're losing the fight for our young people. If they can turn our young people the way they want them, this is another way that they can destroy our race. If you got young black men disrespecting black women and hating black women and have no problem dating outside their race, this effectively destroys the race as well. So they're coming at us on different fronts. It's damaging when a young black man doesn't want to marry a black woman. That hurts our race. That's one black child that won't be produced by a black man and a black woman. So this is where we're losing the fight. And we have to get in that fight a little deeper. And we have to even up the odds, and we got to win that fight. Because if they win that fight, it's all but over. Even with the black woman, it's all but over. Because if they effectively convince the youth that black women are worthless and have no value, and that it's better for them to procreate outside their race, we're all but finished as a race. Well, we'll be just about finished as a race. That's why it's very, very damaging when you see young black men with these Beckys. These old niggas I don't care nothing about. They know what they're doing. You know, they old. They done had their kids or whatever. They ain't gonna hurt nothing. It's the young people. That's where it's gonna hurt. You know, I was looking at something about Eartha Kitt, right? Beautiful black woman, man. When she was young, oh my goodness. Boy, black women are gorgeous. Eartha Kitt, right? They asked her, right? They said, why come you didn't get with a black man? And she had a very interesting answer. She said because the men that she wanted, the reason why she didn't get with them is because the men that she wanted, they were all with white girls. She said the white girls had them. thought that was a very interesting answer. The white girls had them, and she named names like Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier. You know, I always wondered how Sidney Poitier got into those movies, like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. He was the only white man in a white guy. How did he pull that? How did he pull off some of the roles he had back in the day? You notice some of the roles Sidney Poitier had back in the day. He had roles that just didn't go to niggas. I mean, this dude had some serious roles. I'm talking about back in the days of the black exploitation film. Sidney had some serious shit. Sidney was on some big time shit. Now we know why. And Eartha Kitt was like, you know, the men that she wanted, and white girls had them. So the conversation, and we might talk about this on Ladies Night tomorrow night. I'm going to be on Ladies Night with Dame Frankie until other women come up. And this is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about what Eartha Kitt said. I thought it was pretty powerful, right? If a black woman is looking for black men right now, she didn't say any black man, right? She said the black men that she wanted. Okay. She said the black men that we're gonna talk about. I ain't gonna spill the beans all of it, but we're gonna get into this, right? She said the black men that she wanted. Now, okay, does that make her exempt from swirling? Because the class of black men that she wanted, all of the white girls had them, and they weren't available. So she had went to the next black man. Me being pro-black, I'm gonna say yes. But people may have a difference of opinion. And then we can also say, okay, if we agree with her doing that, then we open up a Pandora's box, right? Because now niggas are going to say the same thing. Well, the black women I wanted, white men had them. I agree. I agree, Auntie. You know what? And her career wasn't really all that anyway. I mean, she was the Catwoman in Batman. I don't know if she Whitney for it. I didn't see her in nothing else. So if there's something else that she was in, let me know. Because the only thing I remember her being is Catwoman. If I'm not mistaken, she was the first Catwoman. You know, you're in there with them two crackers, Adam West and the other white boy. Oh, she was in Boomerang? Okay, so yeah, I've never, I don't even know what she's done except the Catwoman thing. I didn't even know I saw Boomerang. I didn't even notice her. I may have to go back and look at that just to see what part she played in it. Okay. What's up, Kenny Conjure? Hey man, check out that fourth quarter thing, man. Looks like it's gonna be hot. You know, Brandon Nell said it's gonna be on. It's got that football mentality. There's gonna be some action. So yes, yeah, good, Ori. I gotta hear you say that on the panel one day, Ori. You know what I'm saying? I gotta see you do your I gotta hear you do your Eartha Kitt. Okay. But yeah, and so you know, we're gonna explore that. Okay, we're gonna explore that for conversation's sake and see if we get, you know, various opinions. Okay. A sassy old lady that wanted Marcus. Okay, all right. And yeah, we're gonna check that out. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna see. We're gonna explore that. Oh, okay. I'm gonna be there. Oh man, no doubt, man. I'm gonna be up there showing mad support. The E Nation will be in the building, showing Kenny Conjo and his people's mad support. The E family will show up, partner. We got your back. Matter of fact, we all subscribed in there anyway. It's called Fourth Quarter Talk, Bell. Kenny Conjo, Brandon L, and them. They get ready to launch their little channel. From the little small clip I saw of Brandon, it looked like it's gonna be fire. So I can't wait to see the first episode. So I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and so like I was saying, right? So I thought she had a very interesting. I thought I had a I thought she had a very interesting response, right? She said, somebody asked her, why do you date black guys? She said, because the black guys she want, all the white girls have. So is she right for going to white dudes? Why didn't she just go to another black dude, right? So, we'll touch on that, okay? So getting back to what I was saying about getting ready to wrap this up because I got to go to work in the morning. Getting back to what I was saying about enemies in plain sight. Pimp culture is really destroying the minds of our young boys, and we got to do something about that. That's what we're trying to do over here at the East Star Network, the Black Power Network, coming up soon. And that, we're trying to fight that with Gen culture. So I believe in trying to do something, man. I don't believe in just talking. So we're going to try to fight that because I think pimp culture is really destroying black culture altogether, especially with the young black men. Like I said, if we lose the minds of our youth, we pretty much had it as a race because they're the future. Okay, if they're running around here talking about swirling and all that, and they calling the black woman the devil and hating black women, then we're pretty much finished. Even with the black woman still here, we pretty much done. Okay, it may not be completely over, but it be damn near close to being over. All right, so we can't let that. We can't let a whole entire generation get into this mindset about swirling and then being non-binary and all this other crazy junk they got out here to confuse people. Oh yeah, you know what? Let me tell y'all, I saw my first androgynous person today, right here. And where am I at? I'm in what state am I in? I'm in Georgia right now. Okay, I'm sitting in the truck stop. I saw my first androgynous person today, live in the flesh. I'm talking about 2 feet away from my truck. Finally figured out what it was. It was a female. But let me tell you something. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're taking pills. I don't know what it is. But when you look at her face, right, there's no defining feature one way or the other. You can't tell if she's a female or male. There's no dominant features in her face. It's amazing. I'm telling you, it was amazing to see. It was amazing to see. When you look at her face, you honestly could not tell whether it was a female or a male. And then she had pecs. This was a female. Ultimately, we found out that it was a female. She had pecs, not breasts. They had pecs. And the way her body was developed, you walk like a man and a woman. I mean, it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And I was talking to Dave Frank about, I'm like, as it was going on live, I was like, wait a minute, I can't tell. I mean, her face had no real defining female features or male features. The most amazing thing I've ever seen. Now, I heard about these androgynous people. I always thought they was in cartoons and video games. I actually never seen a person like that. I saw one today, and live in the flesh. I saw it up close. I honestly could not. And I'm an old dog, okay? I'm old school. It's hard as hell to fool me. I'm not perfect though, you know. But but first of all, you can never fool me as far as relations, because if I see something crazy, that's the red flag. I'm not messing with it. Okay, that's it. All right, but just on general, just looking, I could not tell. I'm telling you, I honestly couldn't tell if it was a male or a female, and I was looking dead at her. Dead at her. And the way she dressed, it wasn't one way or the other. He didn't dress completely like a male, didn't dress completely like a female. It was the weirdest thing, like the look and the clothes all went together. Like she was created in a lab, and she was programmed. I wish I could have, you know, I almost stopped and said, listen, can I take a picture or video real quick? I didn't want to, you know, offend her or whatever. But it was I wish I could have videotaped. I would have showed y'all. Right? Okay? And this was a black woman, right? But did not look like a black woman or a black man. There was nothing defining in her face. Looked plain and blank, like you had to guess. It was almost like her face was a pie. You know what I'm saying? A plain pie. She just had two nose. So she just had two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. Okay. There was no features soft or hard either way. You couldn't tell. And you're looking like, okay, is it a man or is it a female? Yeah. Yeah, and I thought this was bullshit until I see one today. I'm serious. I thought it was bullshit. I'm like, wait a minute, what the? At first, when she first came by the truck, I was like, I thought it was a dude at first. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't think nothing of it. Then she came back, like, man, ain't no dude. Is that a female? And then she got up close and stopped in front of my truck. She was talking to somebody, and I'm looking. I'm like, is that a dude? Is that a female? I'm going back and forth. Is it a female? Is it a dude? Is it a female? Is it a dude? Is it a female? Is it a dude? I was ready to flip a coin. Yo, but yeah, you're right, man. I don't know what they're doing to themselves to look like that. I don't know if they're getting plastic surgery. Maybe they're taking hormone shots or some kind of scientific pill for testosterone. I don't know what they're doing, but man, I saw it. She was androgynous. She was an androgynous, and I mean, I was like, wow. So this is an androgynous person in the flesh. I mean, I truly could not tell one way or the other. Even with the way she dressed, she actually had on a t-shirt, right? Like one of them Fruit of the Loom t-shirts. Okay, like a muscle t-shirt. But the way you're wearing it, a woman could have wore it like that. Like I said, it's hard to. I wish I could have took a picture, but I didn't want to offend her, man. I should have tried to sneak a picture. You know what I'm saying? But I think you get sued if you do that against somebody's will and put it online and some shit. Fuck around and sue the hell out of you, you know. But man, I wish I started asking her to take a picture. No, but I didn't want to, I didn't know how she would take it. Because I thought it was amazing to see. I was like, man, so this is an androgynous person. I didn't even know they were real. I thought it was only some shit you saw in the cartoons or in these goddamn video games. I know, right, Kenny? I saw one today, man. Yo, dude, man, these people are real. Well, y'all probably know. Y'all probably done seen it already. This is my first time seeing one. I've never seen one before. Every time I see people, I know the difference. Either they're male or female. Okay, so this is my first time. Yeah. I'm not far from Atlanta, Ori. I'm down here in Pendergrass. I'm about 70, 80 miles away from Atlanta. I'm about to check out the markets because I'm going to Connecticut. But yeah, so this is my first time really actually seeing these people. I've never seen one before. You know, so I thought it was pretty wild. Okay, and I guess that's what they call non-binary or some shit. You know what I mean? All right, everybody, get ready to wrap it on up. Get on out of here. I thank y'all for coming. We will be airing Ladies Night tonight. I mean tomorrow night. I just wanted to come in and say a few things, talk about enemies in plain sight, and how we have to stop embracing our enemies. Okay. All right. So Ladies Night we'll be back at its regular scheduled time, somewhere between 9 and 10. We might launch it a little earlier. Okay. Depending on what Lucy wants to do. We may launch it like 9 o'clock or something like that. But we'll be back. We're gonna have some interesting things to talk about. Yeah, Kenny. And yo, man, and I'm waiting for that first live, man. I'm gonna be with it. I'm gonna be front row and sitting, man. Checking y'all out. I ain't really cool on Brandon L, but my boy Kenny Conjo is there. That's who I'm coming to represent. You know what I'm saying? Because he comes to show support. I'm gonna show my man Kenny support. I'm not gonna let nobody stop me from showing my brother support. Oh, you said you're gonna be drunk. Man, I wish I can get drunk right now. I'm a Grey Goose guy. I like the Grey Goose, so I wish I can get drunk right now. All right, y'all. Listen, I appreciate y'all coming out. Peace, power, unity to the E Nation. And, we'll be back tomorrow night. All right, shout out to Team Gangster. Shout out to the E Nation. See y'all tomorrow night on Ladies Night. Peace, power, and unity.
My way to the curb, so I swerve and roll loud. To pick up the rest of my goods and straight on the mission for counting up more now. Joe, when I hit the bar, gonna ride like every day. Put 4 more goods, I'ma grow with and stroll until we end up in the grave. The lane, spinning in the drive lane. We spotted the place and quickly rolled up. Gotta make that money, man. I thought of the price, it best to show the fucking the kaboom. So drop it on down when I'm into the room, them dumb. And I'm shaking the dice and hit them in naturals on the fruits. And I'm looking lovely. You better not think it's funny. I'm coming up with it in that quad, cause flesh be loving his money. I'm giving up love to the hustlers, all the facts that busters, making that money stand on your feet. And you better believe, gotta have that cheese for the great leagues, never catching the sleep. Steady on the grind, get my step down from a crime, and I hit it to 9-9. Gotta keep that back, bro, make him say a boy, these niggas are dying. Hit us a pick up a lick up that 211. Gotta get what's mine and failing. They kicking up dust, I'm a trailing, failing 1-7.